All right, welcome. If you have clicked on this video, it's probably because you're wondering what the cut and commit is all about. And in this video, I'm going to take you through exactly what it is that we do so that you can have a full understanding of what this might look like and if it is something that you might be interested in doing. So the cut and commit, very, very brief overview. We're going to get into it into more depth a little bit later on, but this is how we get guys to 10 to 12% body fat in the shortest amount of time possible and start a proper lean bulk. So in this video, I'm going to go through in this order who I am really quickly. I'm going to talk about what the cut and commit is. We're going to talk about who it's for and who it's not for, what it is that we do exactly, and how we do it. So just a really brief description or introduction, I should say, of myself, because let's be honest, you're probably not too interested, but my name is Wesley and I have been a coach for a very long time. We're coming up to 9 years. You probably... I'm not even going to say that. You probably don't know me, but I am Lee Lem's coach. You probably know Lee. Lee has managed to become quite famous inside of the online space. He's very cute and he's also very jacked and sexy. But I have been Lee's coach for a very long time. Actually, I've been his only coach. I coached him into his very first show, and I also coached him into his most recent show where he's looking like an absolute statue. Now, I have worked with over 40 competitive athletes throughout my time, a very, very large amount of people, and that's been pretty cool. I've learned a lot along the way. And I've also worked with over 700 clients in the last 9 years of coaching, and we can see we've got lots of results, lots of social proof, this, that. Now, what is the cut and commit? Now, in a nutshell, this is where we take guys that have bounced between bulking and cutting without ever really getting to their desired physique. Like, this is the main problem that we solve. We take people through a 16-week commitment phase where our objective is to drop the most amount of body fat that we can in the shortest time possible. We aim to get you down to 10 to 12% body fat with visible abs so that you can actually start a proper lean bulk. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more later on. But before we do, I want to go through and explain to you who this is for. And further to that, I'm going to explain to you who this is not for so that you can go through this video and very quickly understand whether or not this is the right thing for you or not. So, as I mentioned already, this is for you if you have bounced between bulking and cutting. This is the main problem that we solve. This is also for you if you struggle with an all or nothing mentality. Just like myself, I am someone who has this all or nothing mentality. I'm either in it or I'm fucking not at all. And I feel as though a lot of the people that we have worked with recently and a lot of our current clients also struggle with this all or nothing mentality. A lot of people seem to see this as a negative thing, but we actually like to use it as a positive, and we like to channel that energy and that kind of way that you are, and we channel it into getting results really fucking quick. The end goal, this is also for you if your end goal is to get as jacked as you can, but you also want to stay lean and you aren't afraid to put in hard work in the short term for the long-term gain. Because within the cut and commit, I'm going to be completely honest, it is not easy, and it does require very, very hard work. And then lastly, if you want a lifestyle that allows you to maintain your physique without living like a CRB bodybuilder. CRB stands for chicken, rice, and broccoli, because we ain't about that lifestyle. Now, who this is not for? This is not for beginners. It's not for people who are afraid of receiving criticism. It's not for people who complain and love excuses, and it's not for people who are not open to learning new concepts, methodologies, and the likes. I also want to go into what most people do versus what we do, because we tend to kind of do the opposite to what most online coaches and other people typically recommend, because we'll get into it. So what most people do, okay, they diet long and gain fast. Diet long. First and foremost, this is the most typical approach for fat loss, because this is most likely what you have been told you need to do if you want to lose fat. And that is, number one, drop calories by 500 from maintenance. Number two, aim to lose no more than 500 grams or 1 pound per week. Number three, do a long, slow, steady, and sustainable fat loss phase. for the best results. Cool, right? We'll continue. And then gain fast. This is what ends up happening to most people when they actually finish their dieting phase, if they even truly finish. Number one, they up their calories into a surplus, most likely a guessed number, like come out of thin air. Number two, they end up regaining body fat way too quickly. And number three, because they regain that body fat way too quickly, that causes them to feel shit about themselves again. So they actually end up wanting to go back into a deficit to correct their mistake. And then thus that bulking, cutting cycle commences. This is what we do. Start lean, gain long. So we aim to drop 1 to 2 kilos or 2 to 4 pounds per week, which is very fast. We aim to get you to 10 to 12% body fat with visible abs. We aim to get you actually lean enough to start a proper lean bulk. Then we bring you out of the dieting phase correctly so you don't regain unnecessary body fat. Let me close my shit. And this is what we call the composition lock-in phase, which is phase 2. I'm going to go into the phases a little bit later on. And then we bring you back to true caloric maintenance. Inside of the composition lock-in phase, we bring you back to true caloric maintenance so that you can begin eating more food, refuel glycogen intramuscularly, and re-regulate hunger whilst staying lean. Really fucking cool shit here. And then the gain long portion, right? This is the most important part. We've got a little example over here, but the gain long is the gaining phase. The gain long is where we actually spend a long time in a surplus, because for us to gain optimally, the most important thing for that to happen is to spend long enough inside of a surplus, right? It's time. Time is the biggest contributing factor to whether or not you are actually going to build muscle. Obviously, time spent doing the right things, but this is where we actually take a slow and steady approach to the growth phase rather than the dieting phase. This is where we pack on muscle without getting too fat. We spend less time dieting in a deficit and more time actually growing muscle, which is a thing that most of us actually want to do. There's also a psychological benefit to staying lean, because when you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you do good, right? A lot of the time, and you probably have seen it, or it's probably yourself right now, you've decided to grow a lot of muscle and then you end up putting on way too much body fat, and now you feel shit, and now your training performance is down because you feel shit. You don't want to take your shirt off. You don't want to wear a singlet in the gym. You can see where I'm going with this. So this is a really good example of one of our clients that we've taken through a lean build. Week 8 is the end of the cut. We got him nice and lean to start off with. We dropped 9 kilos in 8 weeks. He got down to 66 kilos. And then by week 32, he's currently still in a lean build. This is what his physique is looking like. And he's only gained 5 kilos. And I'll tell you what, these body compositions are pretty much the exact same. I would say maybe he's holding on to a little bit more body fat here, but this is 5 kilos of muscle growth in 32 weeks. That's pretty fucking good, especially for natties, right? Now, before I finish off this video, I just kind of want to leave you with our overall Start Lean, Gain Long roadmap, right? So inside of the Start Lean, Gain Long roadmap, we have 3 phases that we take all of our clients through. The first phase is the cut and commit. This is a cut phase. This is where we aim to lose as much body fat in the shortest amount of time possible. Phase 2 is the composition lock-in. Right? This is where we bring you back to true caloric maintenance, actually take you out of the dieting phase correctly so we can set you up to start phase 3, which is the first lean build. And this is where we scale calories up gradually over time, utilizing data to understand exactly how much we should be gaining, what rate of gain we should be seeing on a week-to-week basis, so that we can mitigate the total amount of fat accumulation across that process. That is level 1. Then level 2, we have the first cleanup phase after you finish the first lean build. And then we have lean build 2.0. This is where shit really starts to get crazy. And then going into level 3, we have cleanup phase 2.0, lean build 3.0, and then that leads you into your ultimate form. By this phase, if you have managed to take yourself through these 3 levels, once you get here, you're pretty much going to be in a position where you're just like, fuck, I just look good all the time. And I really love the way I look, and I really love everything about what it is that I'm doing, because I'm just there. I don't have to track calories all the time. I get to eat, for the most part, what it is that I want to eat within reason, and I get to maintain a physique that I'm yeah, really happy about. Down below this video, you'll also see a list of all of the inclusions, like how we actually deliver this service. If you read through that and paired with this video, what I've talked about in this video, and you're like, you know what, this sounds really fucking cool, I'd like to give it a shot, then please, there's going to be a call to action, which is essentially like a link to book in for a call, or a prompt for you to like kind of reach out as in a DM to us, or whatever it is that says below down, whatever we say below this video. Go ahead and do that if you feel as though this is going to be something for you. And if not, completely fine as well. Thank you for your time, and I hope to speak to you very soon.